Well, hello again, Marcos. And today in Accounting 200 Managerial Accounting, we'll be taking up Lesson 3. And today's script is called Activity-Based Costing. As we learned in the previous chapter, absorption costing is relatively simple and effective. The one weakness lies in assigning indirect costs or overhead to different products. This was partly solved by using cost drivers like direct labor hours or machine hours or floor space and so on to estimate the amount of overhead to assign to each different type of production using a predetermined overhead rate. This procedure will tend to under-allocate costs to low-volume products and over-allocate costs to high-volume products. One way to get a more accurate cost allocation is to use activity-based costing, hence the name of the chapter. This method assigns overhead costs to multiple tasks called cost pools, instead of assigning all overhead to just one or two measures. Exhibit 3.1 in the text shows how this idea would work for a clothing manufacturer. It's all pictographs, shows you exactly how it works. By using more discrete, separate measures of overhead, we should get more accurate cost measures. There is a drawback to this method, however. It is complex and somewhat expensive to implement. The extra accuracy may not be worth the price. On pages 131 to 133, you will find a discussion of the benefits and limitations of this particular system. The authors of your book estimate that only 20% of corporations use ABC, or activity-based costing. For Lesson 3 itself, we have a number of learning objectives. You want to make sure that you check these off as you're reading through the chapter. They are as follows: understanding the basic approach in activity-based costing and how it differs from the conventional method discussed in the previous chapter. We did that in this little discussion so far. Compute the activity rates for activity-based costing systems. This you'll find presented in the chapter, the method for computing these activity rates. Compute the product cost using ABC, activity-based costing. Contrast the costs computed under ABC with the conventional costing method. And there are a couple of problems that the text will lead you through that do exactly that. Very, very helpful. Record the flow of cost, record the flow of materials, labor, and overhead through a process costing system. And we'll take a look at process costing. I did not take the time out on this video to explain it, but it is presented to you in the chapter. Compare the cost per equivalent unit using the weighted average method, and assign costs to units using the weighted average method, and prepare a cost reconciliation report. And this is one that ties together two or more of the methods and shows the contrast. I am a bit concerned about your assignments. I do not see assignment 1.2, 2.1, and 2.2. Those were due Sunday night, midnight. It is currently Tuesday that I am recording this. You may well have submitted those, and if so, I'd like to have you send them to me right away by email so that I can try inputting them for you. But for some reason, your discussion question responses are not making it to the forum. Also, I left a note on the forum for you. I don't know if you are getting those, so I'm going to send you a direct email when I'm done here with this video. From the textbook, you're to read Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the process costing chapter, and it was not included in this video, so you'll have to read that on your own. If you have questions, though, feel free to ask them. Feel free to contact me anytime with those. The discussion questions from Chapter 3 are 4 problems, 10, 13, 15, and 18. From Chapter 4, problems 2, 4, 5, 9, 13, and 15, and from chapter 4, the analytical thinking problem, which is given as a separate DQ or discussion question assignment. I see that you completed the first quiz. I have not yet seen the second one complete. That should be done by now. And your third quiz is due Sunday, midnight this coming week. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days in which to complete that. Plenty of time. Be careful not to fall behind. The workload is stringent enough as it is without trying to cram it all into a very short space of time. Also, I should point out that I deduct points for late 10% per week that the assignment is late. I take 10% off of the final grade, even if the assignment is perfectly done. So you don't want to lose those timeliness points. Make sure you're getting those in. Contact me either by email or feel free to text me. If I'm available, I'll pick up the phone, though often I'm not, and pose any questions that you're having at this point. Hate to see you fall behind. But I suspect that that's not the case. That what happened is you thought you were posting and your materials have not yet showed up online for me. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.